When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
And welcome back to Out and About Today. I'm Chuck Long, and on this edition of the Entertainment Outlook, Matt Belsante is an American big band singer-songwriter based right here in Music City. His star continues to rise with the release of his latest CD, When You're Smiling, a collection of traditional jazz and big band standards, and a couple of pop and R&B classics. Here's a look at Matt in action doing some commercial work.
Treat yourself. Ain't it time that you gave yourself a break? Go ahead and treat yourself to the best, to the icing on the cake. Life's more fun when you're the one who grabs the prize. Come rain or shine, treat yourself to Laurel Park Place.
All right, and welcome Matt Belsante, crooner in action.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
We are so glad that you're here. We're going to talk all about the new CD. I love it. It's going to be coming out in January, so we'll get to that. But first off, it's always interesting to me to think, I mean, this is music kind of a throwback to years gone by. When did you first become interested in that big band sound?
Well, I've learned over time that I must have an old soul, because that's kind of what it requires in order to be sort of a younger person who likes this style. When I was a young kid, I played saxophone in elementary school and middle school.
Oh, elementary.
So I started in 4th grade, and by the time I got to 6th grade, I got into jazz and played in jazz bands. And I played all throughout high school. And all the while, I always sung for fun. And just kind of how it ended up working out, I continued to do it, continued to sing for fun, and ended up singing with the Blair Big Band at Vanderbilt. And through all of that, just continued to love the music and kind of hone my skills and continue to try and pursue it.
Yeah. When you first started singing it, though, did it take you a little while to get into the groove of that sound, or did it just come natural?
I think a lot of it came naturally, but one of the things I always tell people is it's so important. I think it's so important that I started as an instrumentalist, and that's how I really learned jazz and learned the music, and that's how I feel like I really understand it a little bit better. And then through listening to a lot of instrumentalists, even more so than vocalists, I just continued to feel that style. And then the more I listen to vocalists and sing that style, it just kind of, you know, a little bit natural, a little bit kind of what I grew up with.
Right, it just kind of lent itself to that.
Yeah.
But when did you discover, you talk about, you know, you started as an instrumentalist on the tenor sax, but when did you discover that you had a voice for this too?
I've been singing since I was a little kid, so it's always been something I've done for fun and always something I've loved to do. I never thought I would pursue it as a career and never thought I would pursue it even as a primary focus when I was playing saxophone, but I just kept at it, and then over time just realized maybe I had a knack for it that was different than others.
Well, and some awards also proved you right, because you were the first person to win the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award in high school for both vocal and instrumental categories. Now, I read that that was a turning point for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those moments where I kind of thought about, what could I do with this? You know, what does this mean for me? And I always had, you know, I guess more practical, for a lack of a better use of words, thought as to what I would do going forward. But that was kind of, as you said, a turning point for me, trying to think about what might I be able to do with this, and how might I be able to pursue it, even if it is just kind of on the side for fun.
Yeah, well, and then you mentioned this a little bit earlier, but the Blair School of Music and, of course, Billy Adair, just an incredible influence, you know, with that school and that sort of thing. But he recognized your talent early on, so tell me about his influence.
Yeah, I went and I wanted to sing with the band, and I heard that there was an opportunity to have, you know, to continue to pursue that style of music when I went off to college. And so I went and met with him and sat down, and he just plunked out Come Fly With Me on his guitar while I sung to try and audition for the band, and that was it. I mean, it was just the beginning of a great relationship with him, and a great opportunity to sing with a really good band and a lot of really fun young kids who are interested in that style of music.
Now, of course, he was the husband of B.G. Adair, just a, you know, a jazz legend here in Nashville. What was it, though, about Billy that you learned? I mean, you've heard of him shepherding so many great artists. What was it that was his key?
You know, Billy was one of the happiest, kindest people I've ever met in my life. I don't think I'll ever meet anybody like Billy. And he just had this way of encouraging everyone to pursue what they loved to do. and be kind like he was, pursue it in a professional way by showing up on time, working hard, having fun. All those things are so important with music and with this style as well. So I learned a lot from him, but namely those things. Just have fun. Almost sing it like it's your last time. And that's kind of how I approach things.
Well, and in the approach to the new CD, which is called When You're Smiling, and it is a great CD.
Thank you.
I've listened to it, and I just think it's terrific. What was your approach to, because there's a lot of big band songs, and we talked in the intro about there's a couple of R&B and pop classics in there as well. What was your approach to selecting the songs on this one?
Well, it's one of those things, and I tell people this whenever I perform in town or out of town. It's great to get to sing your favorite songs all the time, and it was that same way when selecting those tunes. Is a lot of the tunes that I just love to sing when I'm out performing or even at home that maybe I don't perform, but it's great. There's this huge catalog of music you can go pick from, and I was fortunately very involved in selecting the songs. So they're all songs that I love to sing, have listened to my whole life, and it means more to you when you are that involved in selection.
Now, the title cut, When You're Smiling, was that your idea to make that the title cut, the title of the CD? How did that come to be?
I can't take credit for that.
Okay.
I think I was one of the people who may have had that as a suggestion. I love the song, and it's a great big band arrangement that Sinatra certainly made famous. I was not the one who made it the title cut, but I think it was a great choice. It's a great way to start off the record.
I agree. It really is. Now, and you've got some other classics on here: Sunny Side of the Street, The Nearness of You, Paper Moon. You've also, what we were talking about, some pop classics and that sort of thing, R&B classics. Make You Feel My Love. Really terrific cut on there.
Yeah, thank you.
How did that come about?
That was another one where I think it was kind of all organically just trying to think of what would be a good change up on the record, not to continue to have just standards on there, and everyone kind of recognized that as a great ballad to choose. Adele had done it recently and kind of had a resurgence amongst some audiences that maybe did not know it previously, but it's really not all that old of a tune. It's just been done a lot of times, and it's a really well written song. So.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to know it, and it's a very good one. Yeah.
Now, we're here in the holiday season. I also wanted to mention, though, before I mention this next CD, though, this is available on Amazon. And where else can we find it? It's
on Amazon. It's on iTunes. You can find it, pretty much anywhere online. Okay. If you Google it.
Make sure you go to Amazon and iTunes, though, if you need to know exactly where to find that, though, or Google it as well. But we're in the holiday season. Just wanted to mention you've got a terrific holiday CD, White Christmas. So how was that making that? It
was great. I mean, that one was really neat for me because it was fresh out of school. It was kind of my first experience in the music business, I should say. It was just a really cool experience, one that I never thought I would have, and so that record means a lot to me. And it's a really well produced, well arranged record. Chris McDonald arranged and produced that one, and it's just a pretty killer record. It's a great Christmas record. It really
is. So you can get that one right now. That is White Christmas from Matt Belsante. And then come January, you'll be able to get When You're Smiling, which is a terrific CD. So pick that up. Matt, great having you here.
Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Love the music.
Thanks so.
All right, good way to start 2015 with that one.
I think so.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Out and About Today. We'll see you guys next time. Happy holidays.
'Cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles.